ساتر مهدي الكيساك جوكتي الله يساعد Somaliland سحل كايرانيو Somaliland سريد يا سماكو Somaliland الله يساعد.
To Washington Institute and Executive Director Robert Southhoff for inviting me to exchange views today on Somaliland and the future of the Red Sea. I also want to thank David Schenker for leading this important discussion and all of you for participating in this occasion. I'm joined today by several members of my cabinet, including Foreign Minister, Interior and Security Minister, Minister of Information and Cultural, my advisors. We came here to Washington to meet with the officials in the Biden administration, Congress, and institutions like yours to convey one simple message. Congress, our simple message is our ultimate goal is an international mission for Somaliland. But as a first step, we seek strong engagement and partnership with the United States of America. I look forward to hear your perspectives on recent developments in the Horn of Africa through the Middle East lenses, following a few introductory remarks. As the geopolitical environment in the Middle East and East Africa continues to evolve, Somaliland's contribution to maritime security and trade in the critical region are more important than ever before. Many regional players, particularly those in the Middle East, like the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, Qatar, Iran, and global powers like Russia and China have increasingly recognizing the strategic importance of having a role and presence in the Red Sea. As a foreign military bases expand and naval forces increasingly patrol in the Horn of Africa, countries that border the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden are increasingly acting upon our common security challenges. Similarly, we are pursuing shared economic opportunities as a new infrastructure and trade flows reshape the markets. In many ways, the arbitrary division of the Middle East, the Indo-Pacific region, and the Horn of Africa has been short-sighted. Our countries have shared political, economical, and cultural ties for decades, if not centuries. For example, the export of livestock to the Arabian Peninsula has long been a cornerstone of Somaliland's economy. The Red Sea is one of the world's most vital global trade routes, through which a significant percentage of global shipping passes annually. A large portion of the world's oil passes through Bab el-Mandeb, as well as considerable trade between Europe and Asia. Somalia, like all countries that share these waters, depends on the Red Sea for trade and transit. It is therefore only natural that a more comprehensive regional architecture would emerge to manage the challenges we share. We encourage that this is now happening. Policy experts and policy makers who focus on the Middle East and East Africa are coming together to address these matters. Somaliland has more than 460 miles of coastline along the Gulf of Aden and the entrance to the Red Sea. As such, and has much to contribute to the diplomatic dialogue among states that border this strategic maritime region. Our lack of international recognition should not be a reason for our exclusion from these efforts. As a more integrated diplomatic dialogue takes shape, economic integration is also accelerating, with Somaliland playing a critical role as an emerging trade and shipping hub. Last June, our government and oil-based port operator DB Well opened a new container terminal at the port of Khudbad. This marked the completion of the first phase of significant port expansion and modernization project. In October, DB Well and Britain's Development Finance Agency announcing plans to jointly invest in a new infrastructure in East Africa, including the construction of commercial corridors to Ethiopia and other inland neighbors. Thanks to the modernization of the port of Khudbad, the opening of a new international airport, and other new investments in the key sectors of our economy, Somaliland has become the most stable and reliable continent between much of East Africa and the world's major shipping lanes. As I noted at the beginning of my remarks, I came to Washington to seek a meaningful engagement and partnership with the United States of America. Simultaneously, we all have witnessed the deterioration of the political and security situation in Mogadishu. After nearly a decade of good intention by Mogadishu's partners and much US, United States, and international assistance, Somalia's government lacks legitimacy and lacks authority beyond Mogadishu. It remains a source of instability in our fragile region. This failure is provoking new evaluation of policies that previously embedded more direct engagement between the US and Somalia. We heard this firsthand over the course of the past week. In my meetings and consultations with the US government officials, I was encouraged by their interest in closer relations with Somaliland. The Biden administration has agreed to deepen cooperation on key shared objectives, including maritime security, counterterrorism, humanitarian assistance, environmental protection, and business promotion. Much of this will directly inform our role in the Red Sea. Our delegation received an equally warm welcome in Congress, where Somaliland today has more friends than at any point of our history. Last week, a bipartisan group of senators introducing the Somaliland Partnership Act, and similar actions were taken in the House of Representatives. These bills will require the defense and state departments to study the feasibility of a security partnership between the U.S. and Somaliland. This truly signals a new chapter in our relations with the United States. Our friends here understand that in a troubling region that continues to face instability, poor governance, and threats from terrorists, the successes of Somaliland are no small achievements. We are grateful for their continued engagement and support. From regional security and intelligence cooperation to democracy promotion and economic development,